You guys, this video is going to be some tips and tricks for anybody who wants to help take villagers to the next level. It'll give you commonly tips that I commonly have to give out, and it'll answer commonly asked questions and problems that people have. So my first topic I want to cover is conversion momentum. So like a common problem that people have is they lose a lot of momentum whenever they're lurching, and a common reason why this happens is because they go from left to right in their strafes. So for example, if I hold A and if I go instantly to D, see how I lose all that momentum? Then vice versa also like applies. So if I hold D, so I'm going right, then press A, lose all momentum. So what you want to be doing is you want to learn how to transfer this momentum. For example, diagonal, then forward, then this diagonal, then this way. And you can do that with scroll inputs. That's how you do it for forward rises. See, I press scroll there, and I keep momentum a lot better because I'm also scrolling and that's inputting forward inputs. Same thing also goes for S inputs. It's really important whenever you're lurching to learn to use S. Probably like the hardest part about lurching, especially when you first start. That's the thing I had the most trouble with, is just learning to press S. And that allows you like hit like backwards rises and a bunch of other stuff that's really useful, just such as that. Because it's really important to learn how to keep that momentum, because if you don't get above the 180 cap on your velocity, which is the velocity value that you need to be able to slide, you're not going to be sliding. This then links to my next tip. I want to emphasize that crouching is bad, but sliding is good. So if you end up crouching out of a lurch, so if you end up in this crouch state, that's really bad. You almost never want to be in this whenever you're lurching. You either want to be getting the slide out of the lurch like this, or instead of crouching, if you don't have enough speed, it's just better to stand up, then you A, D strafe for a little bit, then you get momentum back, and then you can keep lurching. Next step I want to go over is starting lurches with speed and without speed. So it is better to start with speed, but once you get to a certain point, you don't need speed. So if I'm standing still, if I just input one little to the left, I can still get slides. But it is better, so you can slide to middle lurches. That's not normally what I do, but just doing this is what I normally do, so just do that. You can also glide, just that, into lurches. Another like very commonly like used way is wall bouncing into your lurches. Fatigue bounces work good because then you get a lot of height, you get a lot of velocity from the height, and whenever you get the slide out of that, you get a decent amount of speed. You can always try also not slide jumping into every single lurch. You don't need to slide jump. Slide jump can screw you over sometimes. You can just like standing like a strafe into one of them. This helps some people out in my server. Like I just told them try doing this, and then they said that the lurches got better. It might help yours too. Lurching with speed boost helps, probably not for the reason you would think. It is easier, but the specific reason for that is because then you're getting more velocity, which is gonna make it a lot harder for you to not get that slide, because your velocity is gonna be higher, and because the slide, like the required slide velocity, doesn't go up when your total velocity goes up, it makes it easier to get that slide out of the lurch every single time. And also with speed boost, of course, you also get faster lurches, and you go faster on the opponent's screen, and all that, you know. Another reason why you want the speed is just so that you can get the slide more consistently out of the lurch. So the next topic I'm going to go over is forcing yourself to lurching in fights and like practicing lurching. So whenever you first start lurching, it's going to feel really weird, you know, to do it in fights and to do it in game, because you're not used to it. So what you actually need to do whenever you first start learning is, if you really do want to be using it in game, you have to learn to force yourself. Your KD is going to go down, and you're going to suck for a little bit while you're doing this. You're not used to aiming with it, much less doing it overall. So you're really going to suck with it. But I had to go through this stage where I just had to force myself to do it and to get clips with it and shit. But I'm not, like, once you get to a certain point, you're going to be out of that stage, and it's going to feel really nice once you get out of it, and everything just feels really natural. Another tip that I have is trying other grips. So I do use just like a normal like grip with my mouse, where I have 2 fingers on it and I don't use 3. But a lot of people use this grip called a 1-3-1 grip, basically where they have their middle finger on their scroll wheel, and then their pointer finger on their shoot. And this allows them to shoot while they're lurching. I don't use this. I just learned to switch really quick, but this helps a lot of people, especially with the shooting part. Something I recommend you try. It will feel weird at first. I've tried it a little bit, and I do use it every now and then with fully automatic weapons, especially. It's a decent little skill to have. I recommend you try it. It might help your lurches. It might help your lurches, especially in fights. The next thing I want to go over is how lurching is different from other movement techs. So other movement techs, such as like super glides, you either hit the super glide or you don't. With lurching, it's very easy to like hit like just a base like lurch, where you just tap a movement direction midair, you know. So I mean, you're technically doing a lurch dive there, but lurching is more of like a skill. It's something that you need to practice, and it's something that you need to get better with. It's something you can be creative with. I relate it to more to aim, because aim is like a more creative thing. It's something that like people do differently, you know. It's not like most other movement techs are, where it's either you do it or you don't. And it's something that like you're not going to be good at first. It's something that you'll get better at over time, and that you just need to practice and continuously like learn. Of course, you'll have like little like aha moments where you'll get a lot better in like a very short period of time. But overall, learning to be consistent with it is very key. It is different than most other movement techs and things. So the biggest tip I can give you is just to practice. You know, as I said, it's a very freeform thing. It's something that you need to practice. It's not something that you can just learn once. You're going to get better at it by practicing, you know, by playing the game, by doing it in fights, by trying to do it, and just being consistent with it. That's like the biggest tip I can give you. If y'all have any other questions, or if you want to see what I think of your lurches, my Discord server is always open. I'll leave the link in the description of that. We have like a specific channel where you can ask us about it, and we have some people there who will definitely help you with it. Yeah, so I hope these tips helped you out, and remember to keep practicing, keep at it, you know, and you'll get better. You'll definitely get better.